Okay, so our next topic is weight of an object on the moon, right? We know that on Earth, what is a weight of an object? If an object being mass m, right? So what will be its weight? The weight of an object is given by whatever the force Earth is applying on the object due to its mass, right? Similarly, it goes with moon also. Let's take the same object on the moon, right? So now, because of the moon's gravitation, whatever the force will be applied by moon on that particular object will be given as the weight of that object on the moon. So let's suppose that that object is weighing, the mass of the object is m, right? The weight of that particular object on the moon is given by Wm, right? So by applying the force, that is universal law of gravitation, right, applying over here, then we can find out the weight of an object on the moon, right? So let's see what was the universal law of gravity. The first law, universal law of gravity, it was equal to the gravitation constant g, the mass of the particular big object, यानी कि यहाँ पे जो हम लेंगे the mass of moon, if we are finding the weight of any object on the moon, the mass of the small object and distance, right? अभी इसी के according, if we take the force, because what is force? Here we are finding the weight of an object on the moon, right? So how we can take that? It is the force applied by moon on that particular object, right? So let's take F. On the place of F, we will replace Wm, which is weight of an object on the moon, right? Let's take M, which is mass of the moon, right? So gravitation constant and then M, which is mass of moon, right, and the mass of the object, right? Let's take distance. Now here, what will be the distance of the between those two? यानी कि हम क्या distance find out करना? Distance यहाँ हमें value put करनी है तो किसकी? Suppose that any object here, whatever the object is on the surface of the moon, right? So how will take the distance from the center, right? From the center to that object, that is the, now see over here, what is the distance from its center to the surface? That becomes the r, yani ki radius of the moon. So here we will take distance as radius of the moon, that is also square. Now from this equation we can find out the weight of an object on the moon, right? Similarly, we know that if we want to find out any object, weight of an object on the earth, weight on earth, gravitation constant g, mass of earth, mass of that particular object, which is divided by radius of earth, re, that is square, right? इन दोनों ही इक्वेशन के अगर हम कंपैरिजन करें तो by this one we can find out the object, right? The mass of an object, the weight of the object on moon, the weight of object on earth by this equation. So let's go further and check if what is that particular object is weighing on the moon, and let's put the values on this equation also, and let's see what that particular object is weighing on the earth, right? Okay, so now as we have both of the equations to find out the weight of an object on earth and also on the moon, let's put all these values that we have given on the book, that is mass and radius of earth and moon, which is required for finding out the weight of an object on earth and moon, put in this equation, and let's find out what is the value that we get. Okay, so first of all we are going to find out object, weight of an object on earth. So we know as the universal law of gravitation, the finding out the weight of any object on earth, we have this equation. Let's put all the values. First of all, gravitation constant G and mass of the earth. So gravitation constant G and the mass of an object is both same at both places, so that will be taken as constant. Okay, तो उसको हमने यहाँ पे constant ले लिया. Now that is mass of the earth, which is given to us over here, which I have put over here, right? Here also, right? And these two, which is gravitation constant and the mass of the object, I have taken it as constant, yani ki 1, right? And the radius of the earth square, which is given to us 6.37 into 10 raised to 6. I have put this over here and square of it, right? So let's evaluate them. Because these are constant, it will be as it is. This is also as it is, but here we have to square 6.37 into 10 raised to 6. The square of 6.37 is 40.57. And the square of 10 raised to 6 is, because 6 into 2, 12. 10 raised to 12 is the square of 10 raised to 6. Okay. Now, evaluating further, we get 5.98 upon 40.57, right? Because 10 raised to 6 is now in denominator. If we want to get it into the numerator, it has a minus sign, right? And as it is gravitation constant and mass of the moon is over here, right? If you divide these values, मतलब इसको अगर हम simplify करें, if you simplify these things, you will get 0.1474. And if you evaluate, because the 10 यानी कि base जो है वो same है, and here we have our multiplication, then the raised to जो भी value है, it will be simplified into 12 हो जाएगा. 24 minus 12, it is 12, right? Okay. So here we are getting 10 raised to 12. If we decrease the 1 power, and point will be come from 1 decimal point. That is how we get the weight of an object on earth, which is 1.47 into 10 raised to 11 G into M, which is also gravitation constant and mass of the object, right? Okay, so let's go for we will find out now the same object, the weight of the same object on moon, as we have this equation also, right? Which is gravitation constant G, mass of the moon, mass of an object divided by the radius of moon square, right? First of all, gravitation constant and mass of the object is constant, which is over here, right? तो बात आती है mass of the moon, which is given to us over here, which is 7.36 into 10 raised to 22, which is I have put it over here, right? Which is divided by the radius square, radius of the moon square, which is also given to us over here, 1.74 into 10 raised to 6, right? Which I have written over here, square of it, right? Similarly, जैसा हमने यहाँ पे किया था, वैसा ही यहाँ पे हम करेंगे. This value will be over here, because these two, gravitation constant and mass of the moon is constant, right? So let's square the radius of the moon, right? So 1.74 square of it is 3.027, but the square of 10 raised to 6, because 6 into 2 is 12, so the square of 10 raised to 6 is 10 raised to 12, जैसा हमने यहाँ पे किया, right? So if you divide 7.36 by 3.027, you will get the answer 2.431, and because this is in denominator, 10 raised to 10 raised to 10. Now, for the comparison weight of that particular object, we will divide the weight of that object on earth by moon, right? So let's go do it. So if we want to compare the weight of an object on moon and earth, we have to put the whatever the value that we get of an object that is weighing on the moon and earth like this. Now in the denominator we will put the value of the weight of an object on the mass and in the denominator that of m on the earth. So because here you can see g and m are similar, so that will be cancelled out if we evaluate this equation further as we have done case previously. So we will get the value, because over here it will be 0.165, which is also 1/6. So whatever the value here we are getting, by that we can say that if any object on earth it is weighing 6 kgs, it will be weighing on the moon as 1 kg, right? By here we can say that if any object on earth it is weighing 6 kgs, it will be of 1 kg at moon. Okay, so that is it.